Hey everyone, and welcome. This is another class that I filmed in our gorgeous Airbnb in Costa Rica called the Butterfly Sanctuary. And it was such a beautiful and serene place. I'm so excited that I get to share a little bit of it with you during this class. In today's class, we're going to explore the foundational steps to mastering the pose Forearm Stand. This 35-minute class is perfect for those who are wanting to build up to Forearm Stand and maybe even try it for the first time. We'll spend a lot of time prepping the shoulders and scapula, working on both strength and flexibility. We'll also spend a lot of time stretching out your spine and your hip flexors to get your body ready for this fun and powerful inversion. No props are needed for this class, but if you do get nervous going upside down, having an open wall next to you can help you feel a little more safe and supported and give you a little bit more confidence going into this pose. All right, let's dive in, give it a go, and see what we can do today. We'll start in a tabletop position, so come onto your hands and knees. Your wrists will stack under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Then you'll retract your shoulder blades, sliding them together, and then protract, push them away around your upper back. As you retract, your chest is going to dip down. As you protract, you'll pull it up and in, rounding your upper back. Retraction and protraction. As you do this, you're working to isolate your scapula and get them to move along the back and the rib cage. Protraction is a nice, stable, strong position. Retraction is where we want to go when we are arching the back. Sliding down and then pushing up and out. Down and up. Finding as much movement in the back body as you can. Come back to neutral, then walk your hands to the top of the mat. Lay your chest down towards the ground and then roll it up through your spine. So you're just waving the spine. And this is still warm up, so we are not going as deep as we can. We're using this to help move the spine, open up gently, finding some movement and oiling out the joints. You're rolling up and then walk the hands back underneath. Take a twist, lifting your right arm up to the sky and then reaching it down. Up and down. Open and close. As you open, push into your bottom hand to try to stack your shoulders on top of each other. And switch sides, left arm up and tap down. Push and twist to open and down. Open and down. Two more. And open and down. Then come onto all fours again. Take a breath. Reset up. Lift your spine up into your back. Walk your hands again to the top of the mat. Sink your chest down towards the floor and just gently place your forehead down on the mat. Extend your arms as straight as you can and turn your armpits so they're facing the mat underneath you, letting your chest hang and sink as you breathe. You have a slight arch in your back, but again, it's warm up, so you're not pushing too crazy right now. And then the inhale, roll up through your spine. Your elbows will go down on the mat, your palms together, and you'll bend your arms so they come back and touch your neck, and then extend over your head. Bend and then straighten them out. Bend and extend. This will help to stretch out the triceps and the shoulder joint. Leave your arms back behind your head, reaching towards your neck, and then try to press your chest down to the floor a little bit deeper. Again, your back is in a slight arch. Release your arms, roll up from the bottom of your spine to your top, place your hands back underneath your shoulder joints. Pull up, lift the belly, find neutral. Nice, strong, stable position on your hands and knees. Come back down onto your elbows, open your right elbow and tap it back down to the mat. Open and close. Exact same thing we did earlier. This time we are on our elbows. Twist your rib cage. Open your spine. Switch sides. Take the left arm up and down. 5 times. Here's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Elbows back down. Release. Roll up through your spine. Back to your tabletop position. Step your right foot forward so you have a 90-degree angle between your knee and your heel. Tuck your tailbone under and press your back hip forward in space, taking out the crease on your back hip flexor so that it opens and extends, giving it a nice stretch. Switch sides, tuck your right foot, step your left foot forward. Same thing, push the right hip, stretching and opening the other side now. This is one of my favorite hip flexor stretches. Come back down onto hands and knees, tabletop. Open your right arm up to the sky, then thread it down and under your left arm, laying your right temple on the mat. You look to the left and take a twist, and you're just going to hold it there. Twists really help to open the spine, so you'll see that we have a lot of them in class today. Breathing. Easy does it here. Come back to center, switch sides, left arm up, twist. Exhale, place it down, and then look up to the sky as you twist and stretch on the other side. Lift back to all fours. Hands walk up to the top of the mat again. Arch your spine. Lay your forehead back down. Try to go a little deeper this time, pushing the armpits a little closer to the mat. Letting the back move into a deeper arch. But again, you're not trying to strain yourself. Allow gravity to help you stretch out. Tuck your tailbone, roll up through your spine. Keep rolling down till you come all the way down onto your belly. Your hands are parallel to each other. You want to pull your elbows back and try to push your chest forward, pulling the shoulder blades together and sending your chest through your arms. Your head is just neutral. Now you'll turn and look over your right shoulder, taking a twist. Back to the middle. Twist, look over your left shoulder. Keep trying to send the chest up. And then back to center. Press the chest forward, lift, and then lower down piece by piece from your belly to your head. Extend your right arm out to the side. Place your left hand on the mat. Bend your left knee. Roll onto your right side and place the foot down behind you. Trying to open up the pectorals on the front of your body. If you can't feel the stretch with your arm straight, take the back arm and bend it in a 90-degree angle. And that should really go deeper into that pectoral muscle. Release, roll back onto your belly. We'll switch hands. Tuck your right hand in, extend your left arm out. Bend your right leg, roll to your left side and place the foot down behind you. Stretching out the other side. And if you did the bent arm on the first side, do the bent arm on this side too so you can stay even. Roll back onto your belly. Plant your hands right under your armpits, pull your belly button up, hug your elbows in, and then lift up, starting with your head, rolling up until your arms are fully extended. And then you'll reverse down, trying to take your belly down. Then go into the ribs, the chest, and the very last thing that comes down is your head. You peel up the opposite, starting with your head, squeezing your shoulder blades, trying to lift up, squeezing, and then releasing, rolling down nice and slow. Try to control this using your back muscles. As you go up, start with your head. Pull the chest forward, squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades towards each other on the back of your body. Find your arch. And then slowly let the hips, the belly, the ribs, your chest, and your shoulders, lastly your head, release. Peel up and off again, seeing if you can get your arms fully extended. And then release slowly down. Elbows should hug in towards your sides. Peel up. And release slowly down. Again, peel yourself off the mat as you come to lift the upper body. And then release your body piece by piece, rolling yourself back down onto the mat. Excellent. Push yourself up, bending your knees to come into a child's pose. Sitting back over your heels, your arms are forward, your forehead is down on the mat. Try to stretch the back out in the opposite direction now, allowing the lower back to lengthen. Roll up through your spine. Come back to tabletop. Arch your back, coming into a cow. Round your back, come to a cat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Think about protraction and retraction. As you drop down to cow, you want to retract. As you press up to cat, you want to protract. See how much you can get in your arch and then how much rounding you can create as you come into cat. Inhale up, exhale, tuck in. And then return to a neutral spine. Hands go a little bit forward so you can slide your right leg forward into a pigeon pose, and then you'll rock onto your right hip and then rock back to pigeon. The back hip is going to open. Now you want to square the hips off and try to lift your chest up, pulling your shoulders open. So you want the heads of your shoulders to roll back and out. Bend your back leg, take a hold of your foot if you can. If you can't, you can use a strap to wrap around it or a scarf or a belt, and pull the foot in towards your body as much as you can. Working to square off your shoulders and your hips. That's a hard thing to do. Just do your best at it. Then release, plant your hands and push back to the tabletop. And we will cat and cow again. Inhaling, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back. Exhale, pull your belly up and round your back. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in, find cow. Exhale, round and find cat. Inhale. Exhale. Neutral spine. Slide your left leg forward and then rock onto the hip and close. So open, close. Just rocking onto your left hip and then rolling closed again. Rock. Find center. Try to square your hips off. Lift your shoulders up over your hips. Find a little arch through the spine. Bend your back leg. Take a hold of it however you need to. And draw the foot in towards your glutes, trying to square the hips and shoulders in front of you. It may happen, it may not. Mine are not completely square either. Something we can all work on. Something that comes with a lot of practice. Release your foot. Plant your hands. Push back into your tabletop position. Cat and cow. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Arch and round. Cow to cat. Use the whole spine. Try to make it fluid and smooth in between those two different positions. Come to neutral. Lift your upper body over your lower body so you're on your knees. Thumbs press onto your hip bones and then send your hips forward, tucking your chin into your chest for now. Push those hips as far forward as you can. Lift back up to neutral. Take your right leg and step it forward. Inchworm your toes so you're making a wider angle with your knee. Drop your weight forward, sending your knee forward towards your big toe. Place your left hand down on the mat and find this low lunge, stretching it out. Sweep your right arm around, take hold of your back foot and pull your foot in towards your body. Want to make sure that your weight is not on top of your knee, but it's shifted forward so that it's on your thigh. That's going to protect your knee. Release your foot. Both hands go inside of your foot. You can stay on your hands or drop down onto your forearms to find a deeper lunge, or what we call lizard pose. Hold and stretch here. Lift yourself back up. Send the hips back and come back onto both knees so we can switch sides. Left foot comes forward. Toes scrunch. Sink your weight, tucking your back hip to come down. Find a low lunge. Seeing if you can lift the chest up. Left arm goes back to grab hold of your back foot and pull it in towards you. Again, watch where your weight is. Should be forward, not on top of your knee. Release your foot. Hands come inside of your front foot, and then you can stay on hands or drop to elbows, finding a deeper lizard. Relax your head and neck here. Come back up, and we'll move on to tabletop once again. And then send your hips to the right, look to the left, and then switch. Hips go left, head goes right. Your head will naturally just drop the opposite way of your hips. Just side to side, stretching out the glutes a little bit. Releasing out. Come to center. Really press into the mat and round your upper back, protracting your shoulders and hugging your belly button in. We really need to have stable, strong shoulders to be able to do a forearm stand. Release. Walk your hands a little more forward, tuck your back toes, and send your hips up and back to find down dog. Walk out your down dog, dropping one heel towards the floor and bending the other leg. So you're just stretching one leg and bending the other. Switching. Do it at your own timing. It's the first down dog of the class, so give yourself some time to warm up. Start to settle into a static down dog, extending both your legs, pushing your chest back, hips high. Down dog push-ups. Drop your elbows down and then extend them up. You want to keep pressing your chest back, whether your elbows are dropping down or whether they're extending up, working to keep the hips high. If you need to bend the knees, no big deal. We're working on strength of the shoulders and the back muscles. Come back into down dog. Drop down onto your knees. Arch your back, find cow. Round your back, find cat. Return to neutral. Hands to the top of the mat. You can grab your mat and press it away from you as you sink your chest down towards the floor. Take your chin and put it on the floor and try to look up. This is called puppy pose. Keep the hips up nice and high and look up with your eyes. We are working to create as much of arch in the back as we can and open up the middle of our spine, which is called the thoracic spine. Tuck your tailbone and roll up to help prevent any injury as you come back up and out. Find your neutral and then cat and cow. We're really working that spine today. Inhale and exhale. All these cat and cows give you an opportunity to play with protraction and retraction in your shoulder blades. Come to neutral. Drop down so you're on your forearms and then retract and protract your shoulder blades. This is going to feel a little bit different than being on your hands, but doing this will help you understand where you're supposed to be with your shoulders and your back when you're in a forearm stand. Your shoulders and your back muscles have to be really strong and stable to be able to hold the weight of your body. Now come into a fully protracted position, really pressing up through the shoulder blades. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into a dolphin. Dolphin pose is essentially down dog on your forearms. We're going to do some weight shifts here. Look forward, shift your weight towards your hands, and then press with your shoulders and chest to come back. Forward shift, press your weight back, tuck your chin into your chest. Forward shift. Keep pushing up and out of your shoulders. Forward and back. We're still trying to protract so that we're strong in the shoulder joint itself, but we're also really waking up the delts that run on the front of your shoulders and the top of your shoulders. And look forward, press back, tuck the chin into your chest, hold it there, keep pressing back, trying to open the chest as much as you can. Drop down onto the knees, come back to your tabletop position once again. Cat and cow, you got it. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift head and tail. Exhale, tuck head and tail. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Come to neutral. Lift back up over your knees, so you're on your knees, and then sit over your heels if you can. Take your right hand, grab your right heel, push your hips forward, and reach your left arm up over your head. It's like a half camel pose. Really pressing the hips forward and then trying to lift up and out from your rib cage. Lift all the way back up and sit down. Other side, grab your left heel, press the hips forward, your right arm goes overhead, drop your head back. Press forward with your hips so that you're stretching out the hips and putting the movement there rather than in the lower back. Try to lift up all together to stack and then sit down again. This time we're going to reach for both heels. So we're going to come up onto our knees, reach back, grab both heels. Again, press the hips forward, forward, forward. Then lift the rib cage and arch back from the rib cage, dropping your head back into a full camel position. Squeeze your glutes. Tuck your chin into your chest and lift back so shoulders are over hips. Sit down over your heels. Child's pose, reaching your arms forward, laying your forehead down, releasing your lower back. Breathe in slowly through your nose. And then let it out through the nose. Roll through your spine to come back onto hands and knees. Send your hips over to the right, sink back towards your heels. Send your hips to the left, and then come back to center. Draw a circle starting to the right, back, left, and center. Again, all the way around in your circle. Switch directions, hips start left, and then they roll around to the right. Again, 2 more, all the way around. And last time, sweep the hips. And then come to neutral. Drop your belly down, arch your back, lift your head up. Keep your back arched, but protract the shoulders and then retract the shoulders. Protract, retract. Only difference this time is you are arching the whole time with the lower back. The easiest version of a forearm stand is in a back arch, so this teaches you how to protract the shoulders but still arch your back. Now lift up to find neutral. Drop back down onto your forearms. Your thumbs can come together. Protract your shoulder blades and push yourself back up to dolphin pose. This time we'll walk the feet up towards the body as far as we can and then walk the feet away. Tiptoe up, 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 and then back. Keep pressing up through your shoulders so that your head is hovering high as possible above your arms and hands. We don't want your head close to your arms and hands. You're trying to create tons of space by pushing out of the mat with your shoulders. And come back. Drop down onto your knees. And then place your hands in a parallel position on your forearms. Protract your shoulder blades, pushing up out of the mat, really driving the elbows down into the mat and pressing, pressing, pressing. Strong, stable position. Push, 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 and hold, hold, hold. Release. Lift back onto your hands and knees. Sit back over your heels and take some shoulder rolls. We did a lot of work in the shoulders, so take a second to release that out. and switch, go back to front. And just a friendly reminder that if this pose is really hard for you and what we've been doing has been really hard, totally normal as you start. It took me a long time to get my forearm stand, so don't feel bad if you're not getting it today or if it feels really hard. Interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, send your chest forward, stretch out. Release, hands onto your thighs, drop your head over to the right, tuck your chin, and then over to the left, and then go back down to the middle and over to the right. Just dropping your head from one side to the other, stretching out your neck. Quick breather after all that hard work you did. This time go all the way around. Tuck your chin into your chest, over to the left, over the top, and back down, and then switch. Go to the right, over the top, to the left, and down. Lift your head up, and I'll show you how to do a forearm stand. You can watch and then join me when you're ready. To start off, drop down to your forearms, protract your shoulders nice and strong. Tuck your toes and lift your hips to a dolphin. Walk your feet in a little bit, bend one leg, and then kick it over, trying to get a little bit of air and come back down. If you're nervous to go upside down, this is where you want to have the wall behind you. So as you kick up, you can tap your toe to the wall and come down. And that'll just help give you a little bit more peace of mind knowing that there's something behind you. You're not going to fall over. You'll also want to try doing it on both sides because often we have one side that feels more comfortable to go over, one leg that feels better going overhead than the other. So try out both sides and see which feels better for you. The goal at this point of class is really just to teach yourself how to kick up into forearm stand and also to work out any nervousness that you might feel about going upside down. When you're finished playing with the kick up, come on to all fours and we'll do some rounds of cat and cow to release out the spine. Continue with that movement. We will go back into forearm stand when we're finished and we'll try to add a little bit of a hold. If you don't feel confident doing the hold yet, just do what we did and kick up and come back down. Forearm stand again. Drop down to your elbows, protract your shoulders, hips up to dolphin. Pick your favorite leg and kick it up and over. See if you can catch it at the top. Press firmly out of the floor and try to move your head away from your arms. So you're pressing with your shoulders to create more space between your head and your arms. When you're ready to come down, release one foot down at a time. Come back to tabletop and then circle your right arm forward and all the way around 3 times. One more. Just release out. Switch. Do the left arm forward and around. 2 more times. Up and around and up and around. Coming back onto all fours. Okay, we're going to do it again. Drop down onto the forearms. You know how to set this up. Protract the shoulders. Engage your center. Lift your hips, walk your feet in, kick a leg up and over. Try to hold. If you need to come down and reset up, just try to catch some air. Really push with your shoulders to create space. Both your legs are bent. Think about your back leg getting really heavy, so it's going to fall down to the front. And then you want to separate the legs in the center, but both of your knees are bent. And then when you're ready, come back down. Coming and sitting over your heels, stretching your arms out long in front of you and lengthening your spine. Taking big breaths. We'll drop down onto the elbows, scoot your knees back, sink your head down towards the floor, pressing your chest open, and then bend your elbows and take your hands behind your head. Stretch out your shoulders a little bit. We really have to have open shoulders when we go upside down, both in a forearm stand and in a handstand. So this is a nice stretch. Release your hands, roll up through your spine, back to tabletop. And then forearm stand again, drop down, press through the shoulders, tuck your toes. Lift your hips, walk your feet in, pick a leg, bend it, and then kick it up and over, trying to catch some balance on the top. There might not be a hold yet. It's totally okay. It took me a long time to be able to balance at all in forearm stand. So if you need to repeat this class a lot and get to the point where you can balance, that's totally fine. And that's actually probably more normal than just getting it right away. Come down and then meet in child's pose. Sitting your sit bones onto your heels, rounding your spine. The arms are lengthened forward and your head is released down onto the mat. Your heart rate is probably elevated from doing the forearm stands, so intentionally slow it down here, taking a big full breath in and breathe out. Again, in and out. Take your left arm, thread it under your right, and turn your head to look to the right, twisting through your back. Switch sides, thread the right arm under your left arm, and you'll look to the left this time. And then back to center, up onto your fingertips. Tuck your chin, rest your forehead onto the mat. Roll up through your spine. Cross or swing your legs around. Plant your feet. Reach your arms out long in front of you, sitting tall, and then tuck your pelvis, roll down just till your shoulders get on the mat, and then reverse and roll yourself up. We're doing some core work here. This is going to help activate the muscles through your center so that your back feels supported from going into the arch position. We're just trying to restabilize it, doing some core work. These are called roll-ups. You'll roll down first, hollowing out, curling, and then coming up, activating the front side of your body. Roll down and round and reach forward as you come up. Down and up. Good. Roll it down. Roll it back up to sit tall. Pelvis changes as you come down, so you're going piece by piece from your pelvis to your shoulders and then reversing that as you come up. Roll it down and lift it back up. Long arms. You're going to roll down, stay down, and tap your elbows on each side of your body, doing some Russian twists. Keep trying to hollow out the front of your body and hovering up above the ground, twisting enough that you can get each elbow to touch. Lift back up, lengthen the arms, roll all the way down onto your back. Pull your right knee to your chest and give it a hug, and then pull the left knee to your chest and give it a hug. Creating as deep of crease in your hip flexors as you can. And then we'll make some circles. So the knees are going to open away from each other and then close together. Releasing out your hip joint. Try to guide this movement with your hands so that your hip muscles aren't doing very much work, if any at all. Come to center and then switch the direction of your circle, going the opposite way you just did. Come back to center. Open your knees out to the side. Grab either your ankles or the outsides of your feet and find happy baby, allowing your hips to open, your knees to drop down towards the floor. Keeping your lower back on the mat. Release your feet, hugging your knees back to your chest. Extend your left leg long, keeping the right knee hugged in. It's our last stretch here. Switch sides. Hold. Let go of your legs. Stretch both your feet out to the corners of your mat. Wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you. Close your eyes if you haven't. Take a big breath in through your nose. Then exhale out your mouth. Allowing your body to completely release and relax. And then also allowing your mind to relax. And we'll rest here for a little while. Slowly roll into a ball on your right side. And make your way up into a comfortable seated position, resting your hands on your knees, sitting tall. Place your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your belly, and repeat the mantra with me out loud the second time through if you would like. With practice and patience, all things become possible. With practice and patience, all things become possible. Place your hands together at your heart, bow your head down. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. You did an amazing job. Remember that progress takes time, so keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and you will get there. Remember to hit subscribe so we can continue this journey together and so that you'll never miss a new class. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and I'll see you on the mat next time.